The entertainment industry thrives on whispers, rumors, and the delicate dance between what fans dream of and what celebrities reveal. But when Xiao Zhan, the beloved actor and singer, finally accepted Wang Yibo in a way that nobody saw coming, it wasn't just another celebrity headline. It was a thunderclap across fandoms, a moment that rewrote the rules of stardom and left millions stunned, breathless, and endlessly replaying every detail. The story didn't begin with a press conference or a carefully staged announcement. It started in shadows, in the private corners where fame cannot intrude. For months, rumors circulated that something deeper was brewing between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. Whispers of late-night meetings, coded messages hidden in interviews, and glances that said far more than scripted lines ever could. Fans, ever perceptive, pieced together fragments like detectives chasing a secret love letter blown apart by the wind. But speculation is one thing. Acceptance, open, raw, undeniable, is another. And that acceptance came in a way so powerful, so cinematic, that even the harshest critics found themselves silenced. It happened on a rainy evening in Beijing. The city, always alive with neon light and restless energy, seemed to pause that night as if holding its breath. Xiao Zhan had been filming late, exhaustion written across his face, but when he stepped outside the studio gates, an unexpected figure stood waiting. Wang Yibo, casual in a hoodie and cap, trying to melt into anonymity, leaned against a black car, raindrops sliding down his shoulders. He wasn't supposed to be there. No cameras had been alerted. No team had orchestrated this moment. It was raw, unscripted, and unforgettable. Xiao Zhan stopped in his tracks. The silence between them was louder than the city traffic. The rain tapped a rhythm against the pavement, like nature itself was setting the stage. Fans later speculated about what might have been said in that instant, but the truth is simpler, more powerful. Wang Yibo didn't speak first. He just looked at Xiao Zhan with an intensity that cut through the noise of everything else. The fame, the pressure, the unrelenting spotlight. His eyes carried a question, one that had lingered for too long. Do you accept me? Beyond the stage, beyond the scripts, beyond what the world expects. And then it happened. Xiao Zhan walked forward, closing the impossible distance that had kept them apart for so long. He didn't hesitate. He didn't let the weight of rumors stop him. Under the blurred glow of city lights, he reached out and touched Wang Yibo's hand. A simple gesture, yet it felt like fireworks exploding against the night sky. That single touch was more than a confirmation. It was acceptance. No stage photoshoot could have captured the rawness of it. No press release could have conveyed the gravity. Xiao Zhan had chosen that moment, in front of the only person who mattered, to silently declare, "Yes, I accept you." The next day, fans woke up to chaos. A grainy video had surfaced, taken by someone passing by in the rain. Though blurred, it was unmistakable. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo standing together, their silhouettes framed by headlights, hands brushing against each other. Social media platforms crashed under the weight of hashtags. Xiao Zhan accepts Wang Yibo trended in multiple countries within minutes. Some cried in disbelief. Others cheered like it was a long-awaited victory, and a few skeptics accused it of being staged. But deep down, the truth resonated. It was real. Too real to ignore. In the days that followed, the media dissected every second of that rain-and-night encounter. Analysts compared it to scenes from romance dramas, claiming reality had outdone fiction. Fans replayed the clip in slow motion, pointing out the softness in Xiao Zhan's expression, the way Wang Yibo's hand lingered just long enough to confirm everything. But what made this acceptance extraordinary wasn't just the act itself, it was the courage behind it. Both stars had faced immense pressure from their careers. Their fan bases, while overlapping, were also fiercely protective and sometimes divided. The entertainment industry, always wary of anything that might stir controversy, had tried for years to keep their bond professional, limited to scripted interactions and promotional appearances. But Xiao Zhan shattered those walls with that single gesture. He didn't just accept Wang Yibo privately. He allowed the world to glimpse it, even if unintentionally. Behind closed doors, Insiders whispered about what followed. Some say Wang Yibo, overwhelmed by Xiao Zhan's quiet yet undeniable acceptance, broke his usual stoic demeanor and pulled him into a tight embrace right there in the rain, uncaring of who might see. Others claim Xiao Zhan whispered words that made Wang Yibo's guarded facade crumble, words so intimate that no one has dared to repeat them publicly. Whatever the truth, the emotional charge of that night reverberated across their lives and careers. In interviews afterward, Xiao Zhan seemed lighter, as though a burden had been lifted. His laughter flowed more freely. His performances carried a deeper sincerity. Wang Yibo, too, radiated a quiet confidence, no longer hiding behind the mask of detachment. Fans noticed. They always notice. The acceptance wasn't just personal. It transformed everything around them. Projects they worked on gained a new layer of meaning. Every scene rewatched by fans with fresh eyes. Advertisements featuring both stars saw record-breaking engagement. Concerts and fan meetings buzzed with an energy no one could quite explain, as though audiences were no longer just watching two celebrities, but witnessing a living story unfold in real time. Of course, not everyone celebrated. Some critics warned that such openness could threaten their carefully cultivated careers, that too much speculation could overshadow their artistry. But Xiao Zhan's acceptance proved stronger than fear. Instead of diminishing their shine, it amplified it. People no longer just admired their talent. They connected with their humanity, their courage to be vulnerable. And that's what made the moment unforgettable. Xiao Zhan's acceptance of Wang Yibo wasn't scripted, wasn't polished for cameras. It was raw. It was rain-soaked, imperfect, messy, and that's why it was perfect. It was proof that even under the crushing weight of fame, two people could find a way to see each other, to accept each other, and to let that truth ripple across the world. The story continues, of course. Acceptance is never the end. It's the beginning of something larger, something more beautiful and challenging. Fans are left eagerly waiting for what comes next. Will they speak about it openly? Will they create more moments that confirm what the world now suspects? Or will they let this single, unforgettable night stand as their declaration? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The world will be watching, listening, and holding on to the memory of that rain-soaked evening when Xiao Zhan finally accepted Wang Yibo. And as you, dear viewer, replay this story in your mind, imagine the rain, the glow of city lights, the silence broken only by the sound of two hearts finally choosing to beat together. That's not just a scene, it's history in the making. The rain that night was more than weather. It was an omen, a curtain pulled down by the heavens, shielding a moment so fragile and so explosive that even the universe seemed to conspire to make it unforgettable. As Xiao Zhan's footsteps echoed against the wet pavement, every drop of rain felt like it was counting down to something inevitable. Wang Yibo didn't move, his stillness defying the restless world around them. He simply waited, his figure bathed in the hazy blur of neon lights, his eyes searching through the drizzle for an answer he had longed for but never demanded. The first true spark came when Xiao Zhan stopped just inches away. Their umbrellas had failed them. Raindrops clung to their hair, rolled down their faces, mingling with the sweat of exhaustion and the raw tension of the moment. For anyone else, it might have seemed ordinary, two friends caught in the rain. But for those who had followed their journey, who had seen the way their gazes lingered on stage, who had pieced together the unspoken words between them, this was the culmination of years of silence. Wang Yibo's lips parted, as if he might finally speak, but Xiao Zhan's hand moved first. It was subtle, hesitant at first, fingers brushing against Wang Yibo's wrist, but it carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken confessions. That fleeting touch said everything. I see you. I choose you. I accept you. The world seemed to freeze. For a split second, it was as though even the raindrops held themselves suspended in midi, unwilling to interrupt. Then, slowly, Wang Yibo's usual stoicism cracked. His shoulders, always squared with quiet strength, trembled. His eyes softened, a ray of vulnerability spilling out as if Xiao Zhan's acceptance had unlocked a part of him he had long hidden away. And then came the embrace. Not staged, not perfect, messy, desperate, real. Xiao Zhan stepped forward, closing that last impossible inch, and Wang Yibo met him halfway. Arms wrapped tightly around each other, they clung together like two souls finally finding home after being lost in a storm. The rain soaked them to the bone, but neither cared. To them, it wasn't cold. It was baptism, washing away doubt, fear, and hesitation. The headlights of passing cars flickered like camera flashes, capturing fragments of a scene more breathtaking than any drama. Someone passing by, phone in hand, paused just long enough to record a shaky clip, one that would ignite the internet hours later. But in that moment, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo weren't thinking about who might be watching. The world didn't exist. All that mattered was that acceptance had been given, and it was mutual. Why now? Wang Yibo's voice, low and breaking, carried between them. Xiao Zhan pulled back just enough to look into his eyes, his own expression unguarded. "Because I'm done hiding," he whispered. "Because you waited, and because I can't pretend anymore." Those words, though never officially released, became legend among fans. In online forums, thousands debated whether that was truly what was said. But in truth, it didn't matter. The meaning had already been written in their eyes, their touch, their silence. The rain eventually slowed, the storm giving way to a quieter drizzle. Yet, as they stood together under the dim street lights, it felt like the beginning of something unstoppable. Acceptance wasn't the end of their story. It was the first page of a new chapter, one that would ripple through their lives, their careers, and the hearts of millions who believed in them. By morning, the video surfaced online. Though blurry, it spread like wildfire. Fans replayed it endlessly, pointing out every tiny detail. The tilt of Xiao Zhan's head, the way Wang Yibo's hand lingered at his back, the unmistakable closeness that no camera trick could fake. Hashtags exploded across platforms. #Xiao Zhan acceptable. #Rain Night confession. #the moment that changed everything. Not everyone was ready. Some fans resisted. Some critics dismissed it as coincidence. Others feared the professional consequences. But for the majority, it was a dream turned into reality. A scene more powerful than fiction. One that no director could ever script. And as the world debated, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo remained silent. They didn't need words. Their silence wasn't avoidance. It was confirmation. A silence heavy with meaning. As if saying, "Believe what you saw." That was real. In the weeks that followed, their appearances seemed touched by a new energy. Xiao Zhan's smiles lingered longer. Wang Yibo's guarded demeanor carried a spark of light. Even in group interviews, when their eyes met across the room, fans could feel it. The electric charge of two people no longer hiding from what had always been there. And so, that rainy night wasn't just a fleeting moment. It became legend. A love story written not in scripts or lyrics, but in silence, rain, and one simple act of acceptance that shook the world. Because acceptance is powerful. Acceptance breaks chains, heals wounds, and creates futures. Xiao Zhan's acceptance of Wang Yibo wasn't just for him. It was for every person who had ever longed to be seen, to be chosen, to be accepted for who they are without conditions. That's why the moment was bigger than 2 stars. It was universal. It was human. And as this story continues to echo through the fandoms, one thing is certain. That night will never be forgotten. The rain may have stopped, but the fire it lit burns brighter than ever. If you felt the power of this continuation and want to see more unforgettable stories like this, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more captivating tales that will leave you breathless.